Hi everyone, hello, sorry I need a drink of water. I just realized I filled up my water bottle before and didn't have any of it, and I was staring at it as this video started. It's very important to stay hydrated. Okay. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, it's lunchtime, it's time for book cooks. We're doing, if you haven't seen, we're doing every day at 12, some like big game day, Super Bowl snacks. I'm calling it the Super Snack Bowl because I love a bowl full of snacks. So today I'm doing one that's a little bit more involved than the little videos that I've been posting all over our social media. So I hope that everyone has fun with this. Surprisingly, today's game day snacks came from Nigella Lawson. This cookbook at my table, A Celebration of Home Cooking, is scrumptious. I was just looking through these recipes again a few minutes ago, and my stomach started growling. The recipes in this book are homemade, delicious, flavorful, and there happen to be some really good looking snacks that I said, you know what, let's save that for Super Bowl week. So we're making two today. We have salt and vinegar potatoes. I don't know if you've seen this smashed potato trend where they're both soft and crispy. So we're doing that. And then the other one is a chili cheese garlic bread, which I am super excited about. And I'm really glad that I remembered to go get some bread the other day before the snow, so I didn't have to worry about it. Because I don't keep bread in the house. So we're gonna start with the potatoes. So I had these white potatoes in a little steamer bag, the little white potatoes, and I steamed them according to the directions. Let me just move this. And after you steam them, can you see? Yeah, you can see that. After you steam them, you just grab a fork and you smash them. I did a test one because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. So right now I have my little baking pan in the oven and I have some avocado oil in there. It's heating up at 425 to get the oil warm because you want these to brown and crisp really nicely. My oven is actually pretty good with potatoes. I do like roasted crispy potatoes all the time, but the oil just helps get it almost like when you're searing in a pan. So the oil is warming up while I smash these potatoes. They're nice and soft from being steamed in the microwave. And I'm just gonna smash them with a fork. So the whole point, she says in the book, is you want to have, see, some edges are still kind of coated. It's almost like you're smushing it in half. You don't want it to be super flat, but you do want to kind of break it open, see? So I'm going to have all of these edges are going to get crispy. The skin is going to get crispy, but some of the thicker parts that are still hanging in there, those are going to remain really nice and soft. So each piece of potato that you get is going to have different textures in it at once, which is what makes something taste so good. Texture is a big part of cooking. I'm just going to give these all a little smash. I've always wanted to try smashed potatoes. And I saw this recipe and I love salt and vinegar chips. I know not everybody does. I love them. So I was pretty excited to try it. So you can do some of, like, this one's really flat. This one I'm kind of smushing some of it flat, but they're already steamed, so they're already cooked inside, so you don't need to worry about, is this going to be soft enough in the time that it takes to cook in the oven? Because they will be. I'm just going to smash. I feel like people are like, oh, game day snacks, something with potatoes, chips, tater tots. I did tater tot casserole the first day. If you didn't see that, it came out delicious. And it had protein. It was like a full meal. Not a healthy meal, but it was a full meal. I didn't say this was healthy. A piece of potato for me. People like dip. They like things that are quick and easy to eat. These are fun because it's like a potato snack for game day, but just a little more elevated. Come on, smash, smash, smash. Some of these bigger potatoes need to. There we go. Smash them down. Delicious. I'm really excited for this. And then I have this. Oh, that's good. This is softening up. Pro tip, I have butter for the next recipe that needed to be softened, but if you put it in the microwave, it melts, and that's not the same thing as just softened butter that's easy to mix. So because my oven is on, The top of my range is actually getting a little warm, so I put the butter on a sheet pan, and it's just warm to the touch, which is just enough to soften my butter. Some people say you can put it like in a warm oven with the door open, but this is usually like coated with wax. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a big mistake. All right, I don't think all of these are gonna fit onto my plate, onto my little roasting dish. I'm just using a little one today. I guess I could use the big. No, I'm using the little one because the little one's the one that's warming up in the oven. So I'm gonna save these to make like little smashed potatoes later. Put those to the side, and let me move this, and I'll grab my pan that is heating up with the avocado oil. Should be nice and warm. Close that door. Okay. Just say do anything else or just put them in there. Leaving rough edges, the better to crisp and brown in the oven. Take the roasting pan out of the oven and carefully turn the potatoes in the oil, then roast for about 20 minutes, then turn them again and cook for another 10 minutes until they are deep golden brown in parts and rough edges are crisp. Mine might not take that long. When I have stuff on the bottom rack of the oven, they cook and brown pretty quickly. So let's see what's going to happen. I should get the bigger spatula, which is over here. There it is. All right, so I'm gonna get these in this hot oil. Yeah, and they make a nice sizzle. Very nice. I'm going to drizzle a little oil on top too, just to promote some nice even cooking. Let's see if I can fit all the ones that I smashed in here. Probably not. Do I have room for one more? Let's see if I rearrange. Get back in there, little potato friend. Okay, let's see. You do want to make sure that they all have contact with the bottom. All right, I'm going to drizzle over a little more avocado oil just to promote browning and even cooking, and get some extra oil into this pan. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven and let those get going. Eating the little potato pieces that are here now. I think this butter is soft enough. Okay. All these little potato pieces. I love potatoes. It's terrible. It's not really terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to the side. This bowl is for the potatoes when they come out. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna do the garlic bread, which I'm very excited about. This to the side, let me get a clean, I'll just use a spatula. All right, so where is it? That garlic. I'm gonna show you the picture. This chili cheese garlic bread stopped me the first time I saw it, and I said I'm gonna make it even though I don't eat bread. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Preheat the oven to 425. We're gonna mix together butter, salt, some minced garlic, red pepper flakes, and then a bunch of mozzarella cheese. Get the fresh kind, not the shredded kind. Put this over here as well. So I have a little bowl over here, as you can see. So it's about 7 tablespoons of butter. So almost this whole thing. Save 1 tablespoon for my eggs tomorrow, I guess. Or you know what, maybe I'll mash up those other potatoes and put some butter in it. Why not? Alright. Yeah, this is actually perfectly soft now. What a good idea. Alright, so this 1 little tablespoon is not coming to the party, and rest is. Sticking to the paper. Sticking to the paper. Sticking. Okay, there we go. My hands are covered in butter. There are worse ways to live your life. Okay. This one to the side. Let's see, about 4 fat cloves of garlic peeled and minced, about half a teaspoon of sea salt, flaky salt, everything's falling all over the place. Get it, okay. Let's see. Grind my salt so I can see. You use unsalted butter because you want to control the amount of salt that goes into your dish. The red pepper flakes, not that much, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay, so I do have nice sized cloves of garlic, so we're gonna chop that up. Because I'm taking my time today because we need the potatoes to roast. I'm actually gonna chop this. Normally I don't do it on here because takes time, but it's fine for today. Oh, this is like a double. This is like, is this good fortune? Is this like a sign of good luck? I thought this was 1 garlic clove, but look, it's like 3 skinny garlic cloves. Still counts as 1. That's why it's funny when a recipe is like, okay, this many garlic cloves, and then you're like, okay, but all of my garlic cloves are very big, and then you make the mistake like I did the one time I made cauliflower hummus, and I had very large cloves of garlic, and it was like 5 cloves. Okay. You could smell me coming from a mile away. Maybe like 2 miles away. I remember going to a friend's house and my friend's mom was doing that, like, eat a garlic clove a day for good health. And she was like, oh, wow, I am sorry, I stink. And my friend goes, it's Alyssa. It was me. It was not her. It was me. It was absolutely me. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start chopping these little clovies. It's gonna be very garlicky. All right, so maybe I'll only do 4. I don't know. But it says for a whole loaf of bread, so we'll see. And I'm pretending that I have knife skills. I've been watching a lot of MasterChef. All right. I can actually hear the potatoes sizzling in the oven. I love that sound. Do love that sound. Like I said, when I put potatoes in the oven at this high of a heat on that bottom rack, they get brown and crispy pretty quickly, so we'll see. I usually just cut them up into wedges and let them roast like that, and they get really, really brown on all sides. I love that. It's like the one thing my oven is good for is roasting potatoes, I guess, and making brownies. That's what I cook in my oven a lot. Potatoes and brownies. Let's see what kind of life I lead. All right, that's 2 down. Trying not to leave any big chunks. I mean, it's all gonna roast and the flavor's gonna be great. I hate the flavor of raw garlic. It just burns. It's just not good. And that's when it smells bad too. If you're eating just raw, straight up garlic, watch out, vampires. Watch out. Okay, I'm gonna put these in the bowl and then I'll get to the next couple of cloves. Playing like, is that potato or garlic over here? But It's fine. It is easier to peel garlic, so I leave the peel on and then I cut off the ends, and then the peel comes off easier, which is nice. That's a little trick that I learned. Oh my gosh, that knife just fell. Disaster. Live on Facebook. All right. All right, this is a nice size clove of garlic. All right, here we go. Choppy, chop, chop, chop. Watch your fingers. Chop, 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 chop. Or knife skills mincing. Although I feel like this is how I see them do it on TV too. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. I think I'll do one more small one. I have a big one and a small one, so I'll do the small one. Glad I gave myself options because I had that mystery triplet garlic clove. Definitely feel like bread is a good game day treat, right? I mean, like, everybody loves bread, even me, even though I don't eat bread. But this is kind of like updated from garlic bread because it's got the cheese, and I know people like dips and hot dips and cheese dips and stuff, and this is kind of like a little bit of everything all rolled into one. I know it's not really dippy or anything, but it's cheesy. All right, almost there. And then we just mix it up, and then I'm gonna grab the bread. We'll open up the bread. The way we're cutting the bread is we're kind of like stuffing it, so we're going to slice it but not all the way through, almost like when you Hasselback potatoes. A couple big pieces still. Here we go. Trying to escape. If you haven't seen the short little videos that I've been doing for the game day snacks, you can find on our website under Super Snack Bowl on the adult page. There's a link to the YouTube playlist, which right now will only have 2 videos, but tomorrow we'll have 3, and Friday we'll have 4, and eventually this one will be on there as well. And if you want to check out the entire Book Cooks playlist, there is a Book Cooks playlist on there as well. So if you're like, oh, what should I cook? What kind of cookbooks are at the library? That's all of those are on there. And we're always getting new cookbooks because I love cookbooks. So, all right, let me just rinse the sticky garlic residue off my hands. I'm going to take a little peek at the potatoes because I'm curious because I can hear them sizzling. I can see the brown, the bottoms are starting to brown, but I'm going to leave them. Let me mix this up. My butter's nice and soft. All right, maybe it's not that soft. Maybe I should have left it on the pan for longer. Come on, come on, come on. Right, but at this point, I'm not putting this in the microwave. That's going to ruin everything. All right. Should have left you on this sheet pan for longer. There we go. We're starting to get somewhere. So right now, it just smells like garlic in here. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Also, you don't want the butter to be melted because we want to kind of put it in the bread. We don't want to just let the melted butter run through the bread. We want it as it bakes to melt down and help to brown the garlic and distribute the flavors. If it's already melted, it's just going to soak into the bread and it's not going to do that much. Where's my wooden spoon? I'm going to get my wooden spoon because that'll help smush up the butter a little better. Technical term, smush up. more aggressive than smush. I don't know. All right, here we go. That's better. There we go. When in doubt, wooden spoon. I think that's, I don't know if this is just a very Italian thing to say or what, but there we go. Then I have this giant block of cheese that I'm going to cut up into little cubes. It says about 4 ounces, so about a quarter of that block. Come on, there we go. That's better. I just want to make sure everything is all mixed in evenly because you want to distribute the garlic and especially the red pepper flakes evenly. There's not a lot of red pepper flakes in there. Like, we just want a little bit of the heat to distribute. And again, as that cooks and it cooks with the butter, it'll release the flavor. So you don't need to put too much. All right. A little bit more. All right, here we go. So this is what it looks like. Butter with stuff in it. And then let me open up. It says it is easy peel. We'll see about that. It is. Okay, I doubted them. Truly, I doubted them. Okay. So we're going to take, like I said, about a quarter of this. Save the rest for snacking. Ooh, maybe I can make mozzarella sticks in the air fryer. I do have panko breadcrumbs now, if you saw. Oh no, that's tomorrow's. You didn't see it yet, sorry. Just kidding. I think tomorrow's short game day snack video is jalapeno popper dip, which I think was the family favorite when I brought it over to my parents' house. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think everybody liked that one. I like the garlic bread dip. I think maybe my dad did. But I also really like the jalapeno popper dip. And I think my mom really liked the jalapeno popper dip. So that's tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to lighten it up with a dairy-free, kind of like a chocolate Cool Whip topping that you can use for fruit, cookies. We dipped pretzels in there, salty and sweet. Absolutely delicious. So yeah, I just want these to be little cubes because they'll melt and they'll distribute better. I can toss them into my bowl or toss them towards the garlic wrappings. There we go. Chop, chop, chop. It's also, it just melts better when it's in these little cubes. If you have like a giant chunk of the mozzarella, just kind of, I don't know, because it melts weird when it's fresh like this, but it tastes better and the texture is better, so. We'll see. I might sneak some more in there. I like cheese. I like a lot of cheese, which is why I made all of those dips this week. That was a lot of cheese though. But I hope everyone is enjoying those videos because they were fun. They're fun recipes, so hopefully everyone enjoys. Alright, so let me mix this all up, and then I'm going to clean off my cutting board because I'm going to cut my bread, and I don't want to get any little garlic skins, papers attached to my bread. Just kind of mixing this in a little bit. There's a lot of butter and cheese now stuck to my spoon. Alright. Put this to the side. Let me wipe off my cutting board quickly. Save this garlic for the fridge. Grab my loaf of bread. So the recommended bread for this is like a nice white sourdough loaf or another good chewy bread, so I got sourdough. So excited for this bread. I love bread. Bread doesn't love me, but I love bread. All right. Nice size loaf. Okay, so like I said, you're kind of doing like Hasselback potatoes. We're gonna cut slices, but not go all the way down to the bottom, so we can fan it out and stuff all the good stuff in between here. Let's see where my serrated knife is. There, that should be good. Let's see. Right, so I'm not going all the way down, just enough to open it up. Right, so see, like that, but it's still all attached. So this is where we're gonna shove all of the butter and filling in, and then it's gonna go into the oven and be delicious. I cannot wait. So it's almost like a pull apart bread in a loaf of bread without having to like make, you know, a lot of people do like the pull aparts with like biscuits and stuff. I'm just making sure, I'm just checking each time to make sure I'm not slicing too far, but also like not slicing not enough. Too little. This has the potential to be one of the greatest recipes I've ever tried. And I haven't even made it yet. Okay. Look at that. Look, they're like little slices. Of course, when I went the other day, the bakery now, because of COVID, they're pre-bagging all of their breads, but they're also pre-slicing a lot of them. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need one that's not sliced already. This is not what we're going for. I found one in the back. But that is nice that they're already like pre-slicing and everything is bagged, so they're not just like out. Because I would have missed it if they took away the fresh breads. So would have missed it. That's good. So here we go. Here's my bread, all ready to be stuffed with the good stuff. Okay. So I'm just making sure that this is all like combined well. I'm gonna stuff it in. You just stuff it. I feel like this is not enough filling. I feel like I need more, but that's because I'm excessive. Spread the garlic butter mixture generously and evenly between the slices, and then smear the last scrapings down the middle of the top of the loaf. Yeah, gonna need more. Then we're gonna wrap it in foil and we're gonna bake it. I don't know if you'll see it all finished. I may have to come back and post a picture because it's gonna take a little while, but we'll see. When I put this in the oven, I will take the potatoes out and flip them. So these are kind of like long process things, but I can always come back and show everyone a picture when everything's done. All right, so I'm just gonna smear a little bit in between each chunk. And then if I feel like I have extra, I'll come back with more. This is kind of like different than a lot of the garlic bread recipes that you see, where like you're just kind of slathering half of a loaf, you've cut it in half or something like that. Because this is just, it's almost like a pull apart, which is fun. Just trying to incorporate this butter and cheese together a little bit more. I just want to make sure I'm getting butter and cheese in every single scoop that I'm sticking in here. Just kind of like poke it open and smear it in. It smells really good. Everything smells really good. I can actually smell the potatoes. They definitely need to be flipped, so I'll do that before I wrap this in foil. Yeah, I feel like, but this is a pretty like decent size fat loaf, so I feel like I could have made more. Anyway, so then I'm gonna make sure I get every last drop and put it on the top like she said. Let none of this go to waste. This is the good stuff. Scrape it out of the bowl with my spatula. Every last drop is going to be used. Go big or go home, especially with bread. Get that in there. All right, so let me check the potatoes, and then we're gonna wrap this in foil. I'm gonna wash my hands first, actually. It's like this little piece of cheese that keeps escaping. All right, there we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this in foil and kind of like close it up in a little pouch, but we're gonna make the pouch easy to open so that after, you know, the 30 or so minutes, then we can open up the pouch and just kind of let it brown and get some more of the dry heat from the oven. So we'll do that next. I can put this in the sink. I'm gonna check on those potatoes because we're gonna flip them. I'd say you're ready to be flipped. Keep this oven warm. All right, let's see. Can you see them? A little bit. Oh yeah, they're nice and brown on one side. I'll bring it closer to the camera so you can see. They could stand to be a little browner. Of course, because I was like, this is the one thing my oven is really good at. My oven is like, no, not today, I'm not. I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. Good, so I'm gonna put that back in the oven. Let me get some foil. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Our bread right on in. I'm gonna cover it up as best as I can. I should have made a longer piece. But see, I'm leaving it easy to open on top because then I'll just open it up. At a certain point. I'm gonna actually put this on a different sheet. Just one with a rim in case the butter leaks out a little bit. The last thing I feel like doing today is cleaning my oven. I'm gonna put that in there. Have a little oven thermometer in there, so right now it's almost done. And doesn't want to accommodate this long pan. There we go. Bye-bye. See you soon. Okay, put this to the side. this inside, and then I'll give you a little tour of the cookbook, and we'll see what we can actually get to on camera. I have my apple cider vinegar. So the salt and vinegar, potatoes use apple cider vinegar, and then you do need like a flaky salt. So I do use, you see this all the time, this like grinder of coarse pink salt. Maybe like a finishing salt that you really like, whatever it is, but you do need a coarse salt because that's just the flavor. But ooh, I'll show you the desserts. I was also thinking about making a dessert today, and then I decided I did not want to make a dessert today. Let's see. Oh, this one I'm actually considering making. I may make this recipe for myself at this point. Well, I don't have all the ingredients like orange flower water. I can probably substitute that with something. But this is a scented citrus cake, and this is actually gluten-free. It's an almond flour cake recipe and rice flour. So it's just like sugar, lemons, and orange, eggs, rice flour, ground cardamom, one of my favorite things, baking powder, etc., etc. And oh, it looks so good. Okay. A ginger and walnut carrot cake, vanilla layer cake, chocolate cake with buttercream, a Victoria sponge with cardamom, marmalade, and creme fraiche. Emergency brownies. And I love that they're like in a little bread tin, like an aluminum bread tin. And the recipe says makes 2 generous squares, or 4 to be more modest. I would probably eat the whole thing. It would just be one, a brownie loaf for me, nobody else. Thank you very much. But this is an interesting brownie recipe. There's barely any flour in it. There is still flour in it, but it's mostly, it's butter, light brown sugar. I don't usually use light brown sugar in brownies, so that's interesting to me. Some maple syrup or light corn syrup, the 3 tablespoons of flour, unsweetened cocoa powder, sea salt flakes, an egg, vanilla extract, walnut pieces if you would like, and chocolate chips. I mean, it is small. It isn't like a tiny little 7x4 loaf pan. But I mean, that's great, like emergency brownies. That's awesome. And it only takes about 15 minutes to bake. She does say to let it cool for 20 minutes, but and she says, you know, you can get 2 good squares out of this, but if your need is not so great or you want them to go further, cut each square in half again. My need for brownies is great. My need for brownies is always great. Oh, this one sounded great. No churn bourbon salted caramel ice cream, like a sweetened condensed milk or dulce de leche with heavy cream, bourbon or brandy, and you just kind of freeze it. Chocolate truffle ice cream. I'm hungry for desserts. Why am I always hungry for desserts? Sticky toffee pudding, warm blondie pudding, chocolate olive oil mousse. That was the one that I was thinking I was going to make, but I did not feel like whipping egg whites today. So it's like a more traditional mousse where you make it with eggs. You cook the egg yolks into almost like a little custard base with sugar over a double boiler, but then also you whip the egg whites separately, and then fold that in. And it's made with olive oil. White chocolate cheesecake, apple ginger jack. I don't know what ginger jack is, but it looks like a pie. And then, of course, there are the savory recipes. There are steak. It's not separated into sections, but there are chunks. There's like a whole bunch of recipes that are pork, a whole bunch that are steak, a whole bunch that are lamb, a bunch that are chicken. A spiced lamb with potatoes and apricots. That sounds great. Herbed leg of lamb. Slow roasted 5-spice lamb with Chinese pancakes. Oh, Chinese 5-spice. Okay. I'm like, what are the spices? It's Chinese 5-spice. Okay. Roast duck. Roast Cornish hens. And then there are a lot of recipes that are easy, like a lot of tray bakes, or you just roast this chicken in a pan, like a lot of things that are not complex, which is nice. The recipes in this book seem like they're pretty delicious, but they're just not complex. Coconut shrimp with turmeric yogurt, which sounds great. The salt and vinegar potatoes. Polenta fried fish, so you coat it in, not instant, but polenta, half a cup. Interesting. What else? White miso hummus. So there are also actually a lot of snacks in this book too. Red hot roasted salsa. There's a tequila salsa in here. Cilantro and jalapeno salsa. Spiced almonds. Little spiralized potato crisps, or like little fries, somewhere between like a chip and a fry. And the way that she gets them so crispy, because I've tried to do this before, where I've tried to spiralize potatoes or sweet potatoes. I know sweet potatoes are a different animal. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna bake them in the oven and get them to crisp. But this one, she does say you need to do a couple steps. You do need to kind of like flash fry them in a pan with just shallow oil, just to crisp the outside. Then you bake them in the oven to get them soft in the center and just kind of continue that brown, which is really interesting. I never thought to do it that way before. I was like, either you fry them or you bake them. There's no, well, there is. There are two ways about it. Sweet potato tacos, couscous with pine nuts and dill, garlicky roasted potatoes with oregano and feta. Sounds delicious. What a great idea. Smashed chickpeas with garlic, lemon, and chili. Garlic and Parmesan mashed potatoes. And then there's a recipe in here for potato waffles. So you take these garlic and Parmesan mashed potatoes, and if you have leftovers, you add milk, an egg, some Parmesan cheese, some cornstarch, and you put it in a waffle iron and you make waffles out of it. Look at that. That is made out of mashed potatoes. And then you put an egg in it, so there's like a little bit of protein. And you top it with some bacon, there's a little bit of protein. I'm all about making complete meals, everybody. Carrots and fennel roasted. Meatballs with orzo. Then there's some pasta. Mussels with pasta and tomato. That looks good. Pasta with anchovies, tomatoes, and mascarpone. I don't eat anchovies. I'll send that recipe to my grandpa. Parmesan French toast. That looks really good. Toasted brie, prosciutto, and fig sandwich. Whipped feta toast, artichoke cheese garlic bread. Tomato and fried bread hash, deviled eggs, golden egg curry, black pudding hash, egg tortilla pie, which looks really good. So basically you just put a tortilla in a skillet, and then you fill it with some ham, eggs. If you want to put some cheese in there, toss it with a little bit of hot sauce on top, and you just bake it, and it becomes like this own little like tortilla bowl. Regular waffles, Turkish eggs, and that's about it. So this is a really delicious cookbook, and this is from 2018, and I'm the one who bought it, but I like never really looked at it before. I figured, oh, Nigella Lawson, it's probably going to be like very, very, very fancy cookbook, and the recipes are really accessible. Like I said, they're not that hard to do. There's nothing in here that's overly complicated. So if you're looking for a really good cookbook, I'm going to bring this back to the library tomorrow. So it'll be available. As always, if you don't know, if you don't know, I had to put that on the table. If you don't know what kind of cookbook you're looking for, you can just go to bccls.org, and you, on the drop-down menu, say, you know, you're at the Washington Township Library, and you can just type into the search bar cookbooks, and then check off on the sidebar, you just check off where it says, you know, at Washington Township, and it'll show you the cookbooks that we have available. You can also call or email me and say, like, I'm looking for a cookbook that has this particular type of cooking or that follows this kind of diet, and I can totally help you find some. I love looking at recipes. I love food. Totally big fan. I'm going to put this, well, first I'm going to have a little slice of cheese for myself, because I can't believe I got through stuffing that bread without just sneaking a little piece of cheese for myself. And I'm hungry. I can smell garlic. I can smell it already. So I'm just gonna put this in my reusable zip top bag and put that in the fridge, along with this butter that I'm gonna wrap up in my reusable beeswax wrap. All right. And put this. See, this is a big clove of garlic. I actually think this is also 2. So I do not need that one also. Stay hydrated. I'm gonna check on my potatoes. I can see the cheese starting to melt on the bread. Check on my potatoes. I'd like to do like at least one so you can see what it looks like. But, you know, ooh, oh my gosh, garlic just wafted out at me. I am so excited. Take a look at these potatoes. I actually think I can flip them one more time and they'll be done. Let's see. Can you see them from over there? A little bit, right? And I think I'll pull one that looks like it's done, like one of these smaller pieces, so you can see what the finished product will look like. There we go. Ooh, some of them are getting nice and brown. We're making progress here. Alright, so I'm going to grab this one that's like pretty brown. Put that in my bowl so you can kind of see the effect. I've got like a little piece over here that's really brown. Come on. Almost there. You guys are making progress. Back into the oven. Whole oven smells like garlic. Okay, so you can see I have some of these pieces here that are really brown, and like that's the fun of the smashed potato. This is really soft on the inside because it was steamed ahead of time, and it's got nice and crispy and brown on the outside. Can you hear it? That's not the fork against the bowl, that's the brown of the potatoes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your flaky finishing salt, sea salt, whatever it is that you have, and put a little over the top, and a little bit of your apple cider vinegar, and you just taste it. It's really, like she says in the cookbook, it's really just to taste. She notes that she really likes hers to be, I think she calls it zingy. And I do love salt and vinegar chips, so I'm gonna just pour a little bit of my apple cider vinegar in there, give a quick mix around to make sure that everybody's coated in everything. More salt. Right, so, and some of these smaller, crispier bits you can just grab with your hands. The bigger bits you grab with your fork. Not to be gross, but did you hear that crunch? That's amazing. Use a little more salt. Very vinegary, needs a little more salt. Very good idea. Like I said, if you are like me and you like salt and vinegar chips, this is amazing. You know, because it's a little more sophisticated than salt and vinegar chips, right? And you want to like serve this to people, and you don't want to be like, oh, we're just having some chips. This is fancier. It's good. That's a great idea. Because, and also, again, it's a different texture than chips. Chips are crispy the whole way through. These are nice and soft on the inside from being steamed ahead of time. I like it. It's a very good recipe. I can't wait to eat these. Okay, so I'm gonna let my bread continue to do its thing. We're not gonna stay live on here for the next 20 minutes. I'm gonna run out of things to talk about and I have work to do. So I will post a picture of what the bread looks like when it is all done. So what's gonna happen is probably now at this point it needs another like 15 minutes in the oven. I'm gonna open up that foil and let the bread finish baking, browning, whatever, for another 10 to 15 minutes. And when it's all melted and all done and nice and crisp, I'm gonna pull it out and slice into it, grab chunks of it. Delicious. So don't forget to look out for tomorrow and Friday. We have 2 more game day snack short form videos that will be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at 12 p.m. You can find the playlist, like I said, on our website. If you have any game day recipes that you want to share, you can totally comment on any of those videos and say like, hey, try this. We totally love to crowdsource here at the library. We love to share recipes and we love to share reviews and all of those things. So you can do that if you would like. I think that is it for today for me. So I'm going to have like an actual lunch, have something with protein. I have some chicken stir fry in the fridge so that I don't feel so guilty when I tear into that bread and the rest of these potatoes later. All right, that is it for my delicious super snack bowl snacks for today, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everyone.